She went out with her boyfriend and left her disabled daughter dying inside a car at over 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
To place the child in a burning car, in effect, and walking away.
The mother of the girl claimed that it was all an accident. However, while her daughter was dying in the heat, she hung out with her boyfriend for almost 6 hours.
What happened that day was the worst, most tragic mistake of my life. It was the worst day of my life. I was negligent.
In 2019, Rita Pangalangan, a 13-year-old girl, died in terrible circumstances. The little girl was born with severe intellectual and physical disabilities, so she had always been a wheelchair user. Besides, she struggled to communicate verbally. However, her mother, Rita Pangalangan, didn't mind leaving her alone inside a parked vehicle for over 5 hours, exposed to temperatures of over 120 degrees. A heat that the human body can barely resist.
Very hot, August 5th, 2019. These two people over here, Larry King and Rita Pangalangan, put a child in the back of a car and left it there for 5 hours and 41 minutes. So it was a hot day. At 11:15, when this all started, the heat index was already 89 degrees. It would get close to 100 by the time they ever got that child out of the car. And that was outside the car. That was out air temperature outside. Inside the cabin of the car, we reach a minimum of 118 degrees with a heat index of 135. So what happens when you put a child in the backseat of the car and leave them there for 5 hours and 41 minutes? They are cooked.
According to Rita, she briefly went into her boyfriend's house, Larry King, to get a pack of cigarettes and believed that the air conditioning was working. Regardless, the story they both told while being interrogated immediately fell apart after police got access to the security camera at King's house.
She had blisters all over her body. She backseat of that car. The technical way, the scientific answer to that was hypothermia. You'll hear expert testimony telling you the child had hypothermia, but that's not why you're here. Because she didn't actually die of hypothermia. Because those two people there treated that little girl like baggage. They didn't forget her. They didn't put her in the car and forget her. They put her in the car because to them, she was baggage. You see, the little girl wasn't like every other 13-year-old girl. She suffered from cerebral palsy. She couldn't walk. She couldn't talk. Her hands barely worked. She could not reach the car door to open it to free herself. She couldn't even scream for help.
The footage features the couple being absent for an hour. Then they can be seen apparently returning to check how Christina was doing, and then going straight into the house, not coming out for another 4 hours. And that day, the outdoor temperature reached 90 degrees Fahrenheit, but inside the vehicle, it reached 135 degrees.
To place the child in a burning car, in effect, and walking away. To leave a child in a car for 6 hours under the circumstances that occurred in this case is.
Rita's daughter and Christina's sister assured the jury that her mother was a woman who would give her life for her daughters.
Of her, because Mom loved having pictures everywhere, like wall-to-wall pictures of me and Christina, just everywhere. It was her treasure, because she always says that her kids are the greatest gift from God.
Had you ever known your mother to leave Christina in the car?
No.
You've never seen that?
No.
Never heard of it?
No, sir.
All right, this is final opportunity. You can tell them whatever you want them to know about your mother.
My mom, she loved Christina so much, and she's a good mom. She would often say that God created her to be Christina's mom because she was tough and she could handle it. And she loved Christina so much. She loved her so much.
However, Christina's nanny, who Rita had met for barely 2 days, told a very different side of the story, and her description of Rita differed from this loving and caring mother.
This was on what day?
This, the second, yes sir,
What day was that?
a Friday.
Did you see Rita Pangalangan again?
Not until Sunday afternoon.
After she went on a date with Larry, did she say, I'm gone and I'll be back Monday or anything like that?
She said that she texted me later that night to check on Christina. I would say about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then she said she would be back the next morning on Saturday to go grocery shopping and stuff like that, but she never came.
However, just a couple of days after the horrifying incident, authorities charged Larry King and Rita Pangalangan with murder. But it wasn't until 3 years after Christina's death that the case was reopened and the little girl received justice.
We, the jury, in the above caption, on the charge of Christina Ann Pangalangan, find the defendant guilty. Oh my God! Oh my God! We, the jury, in the above captioned case, on the charge of great bodily injury, we find the defendant guilty. Oh my God! We, the jury, in the above captioned case, on the charge of conspiracy, find the defendant not guilty. And is signed by the four persons. We, the jury, in the above captioned case, on the charge of Christina Ann Pangalangan, find the defendant guilty. We, the jury, in the above captioned case, on the charge of great bodily injury, child, find the defendant guilty. We, the jury, in the above captioned case, on the charge of conspiracy, find the defendant not guilty.
In the end, it took the jury only 2 hours to reach a final verdict. Consequently, Rita and her boyfriend were found guilty, so they will have to spend over 30 years behind bars.